trouble if you got
Hi, Montgomery Fisher.
Brian Rossick.
Joni Thompson.
Let's see, on the remote side, we have Marie, who's going to be representing the International Barbecue Cookers Association. We have Ashton LaFlunty, is that right? Who's representing Visit Bastrop. And we have Michael Hubbard, April Adowski, Joe McNabb, and Mike Goebel. So with that, let's get underway here. I'm going to do a screen share, just 1 second here, share screen. And we'll get underway. Okay, let's start off with, assuming everyone can hear it. This will be, it's basically today is a club assembly. Talk about club business. Let's see, let's start off with a pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
And to the Texas flag, honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to
Texas,
one state,
under God, one and indivisible.
That's good. Would anyone like to do a little short prayer? No? Okay. Well,
Mike.
what's that? Mike, would you like to say anything? If not, that's okay.
Me, Mike?
Yeah. You want to say a short prayer, Mike?
Oh, okay, sure. Thank you for this beautiful day, Lord. Thank you for the people gathered here today in the service of our community. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to help others, to be together in fellowship, and to serve you always. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, here's the agenda. I'll just mention some upcoming programs. The Bastrop Heritage Event Project, the district conference, some club goals, meeting information, and the main subject is the barbecue. Well, yes, I would Montgomery. Yes, it's missing. Barbecue competition, fun, fundraising information event. That's kind of the agenda. Upcoming programs. We try and have programs of relevance. We're meeting every week. And it's important next week, if you show up here, you're all by your lonesome. The program next week is going to be at Spiderwood Studios 969, which is a national level production studio. It's an incredible facility. Montgomery and I did a tour there, and Montgomery knows of which he speaks. And it's, can you describe it briefly?
Spiderwood Studios is a extremely professional, up to par to the current standard of which any commercial or major motion picture production can be taking place at this facility.
Big deal. So what we're going to do is we'll get the tour. You know, so up at noon at Spiderwood Studios 969, you go up 969, and you're going to see it on the left. And they'll do a little tour. There'll be an overview of the studios. The studios basically consist of studios, but does not include the video equipment or the cinematographer. The cinematographer is Montgomery. So what we're going to do is get the tour of that. It's going to be interesting. But the other thing is, one of the prizes for our hybrid auction is going to be a multi-hour movie, which is going to include the studio tour and a cinematographer, which is Montgomery. So anyhow, I think that's about. So anyhow, that's next week. July 20th, we're going to have the district governor here to give us our words of wisdom. Next subject, the Heritage Park Bench. You know, the city of Bastrop gave us the opportunity to get a park bench at a discounted rate. It's a first-class quality bench because, you know, our club is kind of, you don't really see signs of Rotary Club of Bastrop County. And so we're going to do the bike rack project, and we have 6 nice back racks. We're going to have this Heritage Park bench there, and it's going to be there for the next 15 or 20 years. So it's a kind of a good deal. And it's basically providing visibility for our club. It's going to be at Main and Chestnut. It's going to be a thing of beauty. I actually got one for our family. Again, you get to put down text. And the text is, you have 70 characters. You have to think about it. So unless someone has a better idea, I think what would fit is Rotary Club of Bastrop County, serving our Bastrop community since 1990. So what they do is they have that made by it's made in bronze or something like that. So that'll be done in about 6 weeks. So that's kind of an interesting thing. The other thing that's going to happen is the bike racks. So we're going to have those in place before July. Next subject, the Rotary District Conference. It's in Round Rock, the Gallery Resort, Round Rock. It costs some money to go, but you don't necessarily have to stay there. But it's a chance, an opportunity to do some learning, networking, fun. I plan to be there the whole weekend with Janet. But again, think about if you want to participate in that. Bringing this Saturday event is a big deal. And some of us, like Mike, you've gone to this sort of thing multiple times, and I think Michael Hubbard too.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's kind of a big deal. So anyhow, it's just an opportunity. Think about it. If you sign up before the end of March, you get the discounted rate. And so something about just going there to Round Rock's not too far. So think about going there for the networking and learning opportunity on that Saturday. Now, one of the things the club has been asked to donate something of value. So my suggestion is that what we donate is, and they actually like this, is we donate custom labeled water bottles. So what we're going to do is, if you remember the tour at Texas Rain, where this is rainwater. It's God's water. It's better than aqua water. So what we can do is we can design things with their logo and all that stuff. So they're like 60 cents a piece. And what we're trying to do is make these into collector's items. They're going to be made nicely. So Montgomery is part of this equation too. Think about what you'd like to say with the Rotary logo and service about self and all that good stuff. So that would be kind of the deal with that. So anyhow, that's what I suggest we donate to them. They like that idea because it's the interesting thing about water bottles is, in essence, these can be around forever. The best thing for don't recycle, reuse. So it's kind of a cool thing. So anyhow, that would be something to think about for not right now. Next thing, some cult goals. This is some of my thoughts is, we've had membership challenge for a while. My personal goal is to have us grow by 25% between now and next year. And if we play our cards right, I think that's attainable. One is to support service projects and organizations, emphasis on local, but also the larger, international projects are great, but we can do things that benefit. And sometimes you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Like with the rainwater collection, we can do a local project here and it be extended to Africa or Mexico or whatever, and have informative, relevant programs. Again, the emphasis on something people care about. We're recording all our programs, by the way. So what we're doing is Pam is now noting our programs, and we're recording all these meetings. So in the future, people can participate remotely. So you can participate remotely. You can see it later, whatever. Some meeting information. Current meetings are in hybrid format, community gardens, and this is working out pretty good for now. But hybrid in-person meetings allows convenience. It's safe, flexible for people in person and virtual participation. And this has basically become, it's kind of in the Rotary district, this is the most common format of the hybrid meeting. Some meet purely virtually, e-clubs, some meet purely in person, but the vast majority of them meet in this format. And I suspect what's going to happen is the hybrid format will become the dominant format because it's part of the new normal. Now, we're going to have the in-person aspects where we can eat and schmooze and break bread. Now one of the things that Adam and I were talking about that is, which is the optimal location for meetings. this is a great location. We have the TV, we have all the space we need. We can have events here. This is a good place for events. When we start getting into the proper meals, might not be the optimal location. So Adam and I are talking about doing something. What we'd like to do is have a place where, it's affordable. One of the issues with Rotary is if you're required to buy a meal and you don't show up, then you kind of feel unhappy. So we're looking, what Adam and I are talking about was like maybe somewhere where they have a buffet option and then they have all the amenities. So stay tuned for more developments in that. Club support of local organizations. We've donated $2,000 a piece to those 5 organizations: Crisis Center, CASA, Food Pantry. And basically one of the things is too, we asked these organizations, what are you gonna do with the $2,000? Because we'd rather not have it go into general funds. At the end of the day, these guys do good stuff. We'd like them to quantify a little bit, and they came up with a fine job. Like the Food Pantry came up with like Nichols Food Pantry, the shelter and all that stuff. And like this picture there, that's from a check presentation event. Check presentation events are somewhat not optimal in one sense. What we do is we have the 1-minute video. And then we turn that into the director says, this is what we're gonna do. Like in the case of that thing, that shelter which you see in front of you, that was in terrible shape. And because we gave them $2,000, that enabled to do the finishing out that shelter so they could support their mission. The last one we have to do is the Smithville Food Pantry. Where's the sign? Well, anyhow, we're gonna do another event at the Food Pantry here, and that's the last one. So, next thing.
Hello, Janet.
Good.
Is Janet here? She's here.
She's always here. Great.
Sorry about the red, where's my, there he is. I was gonna get us some red beans and rice thing, only take
You get what?
cash.
What's that?
Red beans and rice for everybody. No,
Oh, that's okay.
cash.
Okay.
So nothing to eat for us.
Anyhow, that's the presentation check, which we use. And those things, I get them made over the internet naturally, and they're pretty cheap. And then they keep them there. And then it talks, the endorsement is, this is what you're gonna do with it. Like in the case of Food Pantry, we're gonna pay for part of the commercial fees for food. So anyone wants to show up in Smithville on some day in the next future, it's just you get the little tour, so it's another good thing. Okay, what I call the Sanctioned Barbecue Competition Fund Fundraising and Information Event. So that's the subject here. So this is what we're talking about. The main aspect was on Labor Day. So one main aspect is the barbecue competition.
Yes.
And then so 2 of the cogs in that is going to be Joni Thompson, who's in front of us. And the other is Maria, and who's with the International Barbecue Cookers Association. She's in the line, and she's going to say a few words here in a minute. And, basically the Sanctioned Barbecue event is a big deal. And Mike Goebel and is going to be another key cog in this thing. It's going to take some work for sure.
Oh, very much work.
But, and then, so we do is barbecue competition. We're going to do fundraising to support club projects and organizations, and an emphasis on local. One of the things for fundraising is we might make some money on the actual barbecue competitions. There's expenses with that. But the main purpose of that is we want, one main purpose is simply the Rotary Club of Bastrop County exists. And this event is going to be a draw. I envision a lot of people showing because we're going to have publicity associated with it. But the main thing is going to be a silent auction and hybrid in-person virtual auction. So, and then other aspects should be profitable and another fun. Is there anyone who's not tired of COVID, ready for some fun? And so the idea is we want to have fun stuff there. The barbecue competition itself is going to be a fun deal. But we're going to have a fair festival. We'll have longhorns. We'll have some cool stuff. We'll have a dance on Saturday night. If you haven't been to Bayfest Park, someone's going to get together with Maria on April 2nd, and we're going to lay out exactly what's going to happen at that thing. And basically we have 21 acres. We have a rodeo arena. We have a whole thing. So that's going to be a good deal. Information. One of the things is we like to be aware that the Rotary Club exists. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have some booths there. like with some things like hydroponics, with Rick and Alex are involved in. And we can have some other things, and we can do stuff with other clubs. And so that's the idea, is to have that. Now, we also have the option for what I call booths at the Bastrop Patriotic Festival. Not a barbecue event or something like that. We do have the option of just going there, setting up a booth, you know, the classic canopy, the table, and having, you know, this is what the Rotary Club does, and have some demo things, like with Alex and Rick setting up a portable hydroponics display.
When is that?
That's
July 4th?
That July 4th. The Patriotic Festival, it's at Fisherman's Park. So yeah, that's another, but the idea is, one of the things is, all these things should be significant events and bring awareness to our club, which is very valuable. One of the keys too is what I call 3 Ps: publicity, preparation, and partnership. For publicity, it's important we get people know about this in advance. Like the barbecue cookers, Marie and Yutney know, is these guys plan circuits well in advance. It's a big deal. This will probably be an annual event, and they want to know way in advance. So Labor Day is not forever off, but it's coming. So I want to do publicity. We're already in the Bastrop and Smithville Chamber calendars. We'll get the Elkin calendar. We're going to get into the Rotary District 58 thing. We're getting into the newsletter for this thing. We'll be the Visit Bastrop. So our Visit Bastrop colleagues are online. We'll do a website and social media. One of the options we have is promotional commemorative water bottles prior to the event. Now, unfortunately, David Schwab's not in, but the interesting thing about these is these cost 60 cents. We could put them in HEBs. We could commemorate this event with this event. And this would be something to be a Brookshire, or it could be, this would be another option we have, because these could be a big deal for the event and prior to the event, because it's going to say this barbecue competition and our logo and all that good stuff on this thing, and as people drink it, say, oh, really? Well, tell me more. So that's kind of what, that's an option. That's another promotional thing. So David Schwab can help design it. And then subject to our approval with what we have. So we gave him some initial information. We're going to have some shirts, like, where's that, Janet?
I don't have shirts.
That's
The hat.
great.
Oh,
The hat.
one of the options we have is we need some shirts and that stuff. So we can make up Rotary, Rotary Club of Bastrop County. I don't just want frankly, I don't really like just the Rotary wheel. We like to have stuff which conveys something about Rotary Club of Bastrop County. We can have shirts, which you can wear for things. Again, they're going to cost some money. So that's where what the people pay and all that stuff. Now, one of the things is videos. Now, it turns out Montgomery has many skills, one of which he's a professional. We took him from Los Angeles. He saw the light and moved to Texas. And so one of the things is we're asking him to tell a story in 1 minute. Very difficult. Lots of people can talk for half an hour. Very difficult to tell your story start to finish in 1 minute. So that'll be one of Montgomery's tasks should you decide to accept it. That's for commercials, Instagram, that kind of stuff. And part of the purpose of publicity that supports this event and also supports our club. Preparation, there's a lot of aspects to this. So we do have to do some preparation. It'll definitely be work. My prediction is it'll be, because we're leveraged upon many resources, I think it's going to be a manageable thing for us. And partnerships. One thing is to leverage upon other organizations, people, like other Rotary clubs. We're going to collaborate with these guys. Again, it's going to be a Rotary Club of Bastrop County event, but we have no pride of authors. We can work with the E-Club, we can work with South Austin, we can work with whatever. And we're going to mention this thing at the district conference in May. But there's people that really people that are into barbecue competition. There's a cult following for that.
There is.
And so we could get into that. Now Bastrop, the Bastrop, Visit Bastrop is on the line, so we're going to collaborate with them. let's see, Kathy Danielson is part of our club, and she's also the Bastrop Special Events Coordinator. We have to do these forms. There is, see this gigantic form? We have to fill all this stuff out. So on March 30th, we're gonna meet at City Hall to fill out the forms. And then the people at the International Barbecue Cookers Association have their own set of forms to fill out.
Maria, can't we do that online?
Yeah.
Yes, it's only one page.
Okay,
It's-
online.
Yeah, it's very simple process and it can be done online.
Well, that'd be good. Now, this thing is you get a clue as to what's
No,
involved in this.
That's for the city.
For the city, yes.
That's many pieces of paper.
Well, that's many, well, we have to, anyhow, what we want to do is we want to have it done right. So when it comes back to filling out the form, what I'd like to do is have Joni and Maria out the bits. But, it's, fill out the forms, we have to find out the money, and we're going to have to come up with we have to refine the budget for this thing. But we do have money in our budget, which was, it's in essence, it's upfront money for this kind of event. So we do have money for this.
We will also need paper flyers
Yes, we'll come to that. I have said.
to hand out
Yes,
and
right.
to send online with.
Yes. Now here's a Mike Goebel slide, which is kind of summarizing the aspects. This is something he came up with. In essence, we can flesh this out to, a lot of the work is going to be done by committees or key people. This kind of his articulation of some of the things to think about. But there's lots of details to do. So we're going to do, we're going to need volunteers and people that's willing to stick up their hand. I'd like to be involved in part X, Y, or Z. So think about what floats your boat. So,
And yeah, that's just to kind of get us started.
right, that's a good start. What we have to do is we have to have, because you and Susan were part of the thing before, but, anyone is invited to participate. There's certain things that you particularly like Joni is an obvious one for it to be a key part of Joni's going to eventually become a member for us. But anyhow, Joni would be obviously a key partner because she has a relationship with Maria, and keeping a good relationship with the International Barbecue Cookers Association is a big deal. That's the primo organization. Maria, would you care to give a brief overview what the IBCA is about?
Well, so International Barbecue Cookers Association is we're called a sanctioning body. What we do is we come into an event that wants to have a barbecue cook-off, and we provide the judging overview. So we provide somebody that comes in and handles the judging process, the tallying of judging, sets forth the rules to the cooks so the cooks know what to expect. We come in, provide the containers that they need. You guys provide the area that we have the cook-off in. We will market your event on our website and our Facebook pages. We provide a head judge and assistants, but the assistants are paid. So the more volunteers you can provide, the less assistance we need to provide. So they will come in, they'll set forth what the rules are for the cook-off. They will govern the judging process. They will tally all of the points associated with the judging process and handle all of your awards.
That's good. Some other key people on here is Kathy Danielson. Kathy, would you care to describe briefly your job title? I think you just stepped out. But Ashton,
Here I am. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Kathleen, could you
Yes.
just briefly,
Can
your job title? And
Yes, my new job title is Special Events Manager for the city of Bastrop. I'm still over the convention center, booking and handling the events at the convention center. But now I'm assisting with the Main Street events and the Main Street Board and coordinating events that the city departments do. So that's what I'm doing now.
Wow. Splendid. Well, we're looking for you to help keep us straight. Ashton, would you care to describe your role?
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name's Ashton. I'm sitting in for Susan this meeting, but I already see from your presentation there are a few things we can definitely help with in regards to the barbecue event. I'm the marketing manager for Visit Bastrop, so I manage the overall marketing function at Visit Bastrop. So just kind of excited to sit in and listen and learn more about what Rotary does.
Well, that'd be good. By the way, if you have nothing better to do, you're welcome to join us. But well, that's terrific. Okay, let's see here. Well, that's kind of introduction. So think about this chart and we'll flesh it out. This was, and we'll just have to think of what I'd like to be involved in aspect X, Y, or Z. Oh, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to Alex and Crummy. There's a flyer, a draft flyer. Joni gave me another one. We have to refine this and stuff like that, but the idea is we can have a flyer oriented towards barbecue teams, and they have their particular thing like prizes and all that stuff. And there's a flyer for general consumption. They don't care about prizes necessarily. They can care if it's going to be a fun thing. So we can have two versions of flyers.
Well, it can all go on one.
It's a matter of sometimes you tailor advertising to the audience.
Yeah,
Like if we're going to put stuff around the city of Bastrop and post to the website, it could have a slightly different flavor than what you do for teams.
yeah, but
It's easy for us to make those things. We just have to refine, like the entrance care about next to space is 40 by 40 and stuff. The people attending the event, again, the target audience is competitors who care about space and jackpots and all that stuff. The people interested, they're more interested in knowing it's a fun thing and what's a barbecue competition, all that stuff. So we can make tailored versions of these things. But one of the key logos is going to be a Rotary Club and the Ibca.
right.
So again, we'll refine this, just a quick thought. There's categories. One of the things is,
On the jackpot, it doesn't have to be chili dessert
oh
or
no,
something. Yeah, it can be anything.
basically this is what we're doing now. This is a high level view. We're going to knuckle down and refine all this stuff. We're looking for all showstoppers. And we have to refine all this stuff, but that's kind of our mission now. And then the committees are going to work out and refine everything we have here. Nothing here is refined. Our main mission here is to get into calendars.
Right.
We want to have a plausible story, so we have something in the chambers. We have something enough go into the district. As soon as we fill out the form, Maria can put it on the Ibca website, and that's going to be quite a bit of publicity all by itself. Because again, cookers take this pretty seriously. Some of our family has entered in some of this and been judged and kind of thing, and people do cooking is a big deal. So anyhow, this kind of deal. Now we have is, we won't go through all this stuff.
These are ideas.
I know, no, these are some, Joni wrote down some notes. So things we need, and we won't spend time looking at all these things because these are examples of sort of things we have to think about. Events. So I'm going to send out the slides to everyone. And then things like when you judges area, convenience and raffles and lunchbox and that kind of stuff. And this is some more stuff from her. And we have to contact the show barn people.
Yes.
That's on my to-do list. The rodeo contact, because we have that, we do have that rodeo facility. That's kind of a big deal. So, and then here's some comments from Mike Goebel. One of the things is to have trophies made. We can buy trophies, but Montgomery and I met with the owner of the Bastrop Foundry, making cool things. And one suggestion we think Joni is make chickens, chickens, cows, pigs.
Right.
Something which, the barbecue competition 2021 at Bastrop, grand prize winner of the pig competition or whatever it is. But what we would like to do is have custom things made by them, which is publicity for them. Maybe they'll get us a good deal, but making things custom is better than just buying trophies and having it engraved.
Right.
And when Norma says custom, this is a cast bronze.
Yes,
This is the Texas Heart is a bronze casting foundry. So the idea was maybe the first prize or the grand prize would be something really special, a nice cast bronze that the team could take home, and maybe second and third we buy more typical trophies. But that's
Yeah,
just an
that would
idea.
that would be a big deal. That's going to be an attraction because, at the end of the day, when the team wants a Stanley Cup, the big deal is that Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
And so we're going to have a program with the owner of the Bastrop Foundry who happens to live at the Colony. Good guy. So we're going to have a program involving them. It's a cool place. It's very covert. They do almost no sales locally. It's almost everything internet, and they make humongous, like 10-foot tall statues. It's worth a trip. You can see it just when you go on the outside. It's down the industrial park, but it's a big deal.
They make all the bronze bookies.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the fire station, the
The fire
firemen
station,
outside
they
the
have
fire
stuff at the
station.
Capitol, they have stuff all over the place. But to Mike's point, having some sort of trophy of some substance, they might give us a good deal on, because they can say, hey, this is Bastrop Foundry,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a good investment to have first prize, second prize, third
Right.
prize, and that stuff. The other thing we can do is for just everyone enters, is give them something like a custom engraved cutting board, like laser engraved cutting board, so we can work with like high school. I have a CNC laser cutter, but again, you engraving thing, just so all the entrants get something, they kind of like that. And the cutting board is probably a cool thing. Again, we have to refine all this stuff. So anyhow, there's some more thoughts by Mike. So, good thoughts here. So we just have to flesh it out. More thoughts. We want to have a community information. We want to have a band. In essence, there's
Well, we were talking about that earlier.
basically we can have music events as long as I hate music events. We can't hear yourself think.
Right.
But we have that pavilion. We can have a band. We can have a live band for Saturday night.
Yeah.
We have to pay a little bit extra for that.
Do it in connection with the city.
Well, in essence, what we do, if you pay the money, it's yours.
Okay,
But to your point, is we want to do it in conjunction with like Ashton,
right,
right, Ashton?
right. That's what we're
And
talking
make
about.
it part of, it's a win-win,
Mhm.
because some people consider Bastrop the far side of the moon. And this should put it on the map. So we're looking at doing something with FAA. We have that rodeo thing.
Mhm.
Big deal. We could have the Longhorns. There's a Longhorn place, and they have these tame Longhorns, the horse
Right.
stand like this. We talk with him. We can have an alliance with the American Legion, who's right there too. So anyhow, it's kind of deal there.
Well, there's a local Longhorn guy that you can take pictures. You can get up on top of the Longhorn and he'll take your picture on top of a Longhorn. So it's just something, it could be fun. We wouldn't make any money off that. He could make all the money, but it kind of adds to the atmosphere of a festival and a fun event with fun things to do.
That's a good thing. I have a picture, one of our Christmas card pictures shows me on a saddle on top of a Longhorn,
At the height,
and it's probably his.
do you think?
That's what he does. It's Texas, what is it? What's the name of it?
Lonesome Pines.
Lonesome Pine Ranch. It's a cool place. He can offer a tour as a prize, but they're cool people. It's a husband and wife deal,
Mhm.
and they're cool people. They're right behind Texas Rain. And when the governor were there, they came up and we petted them. I mean, they're just amazing. Anyhow, we need backup power and all that stuff. We're getting through here. More points. We need cell coverage. I think there's good cell coverage there. We want to verify that because for one thing, the hybrid auction needs internet.
Right.
That's a for sure thing. So I think we'll be good there. But that's one of the things is to make sure you have good coverage. So we have good internet. You want good high-speed internet because we're going to want to do live streaming video. So we need good internet up and down.
No, that's right. And we're going to depend on that using our squares to do transactions and things.
Yes.
So, it may be it's one thing for 10 people, but if you have 500 or 600 people there, I don't know if that
Right.
load on that local cell, how that holds up. So it might be worthwhile to have a discussion with
That's
one of the local providers and say, hey, there's going to be this big event over a couple of days. What do you think?
That's a good point, Mike.
I mean, it could be 1,000 people. I mean, if there's other events going on all around Bastrop, I mean, there could be 1,000 people on their cell phones potentially all
Right.
off and on. So anyway,
That's a good thought. Put that on the to-do list. Contact us, because right now the coverage is fine there. But if you have 1,000 people, now we can have prioritized service, because in essence, people doing streaming and all that kind of stuff can clog up the works. And we have to contact, because our thing, we're doing the hybrid auction will only be an hour. So it has to work. Actually, for that purpose, I could use mine. I could get good internet. I could have quote my own private network for them. Anyhow, these are more points. We need red hats. We have little subtleties that we charge for admission, yes, no, treasure hunts, silent auction and hybrid auction. Now, someone from Paybe was supposed to chime in and get it over you. Is there someone from Paybe in?
yes.
Hello? I thought
Hi,
you,
everybody. Hi, I'm Nidhi. Hi. Let me turn on my video. Hi.
could you introduce yourself? I don't see your picture.
Okay, now do you see me? I've
Yes.
turned on my video.
Yes.
Hold on a second, please.
Yeah.
I'm doing the, oh, there you go.
Oh, there.
Okay, go ahead, introduce yourself. And could you give us by the way, the Paybe was pointed out to us by the Gobles. I never heard of it myself, but now I've become a fan of it. And, they've had success stories. So I'd encourage people to take the demo version. It's 1 hour, it's fun. Could you introduce yourself and give a little, a brief overview of how Paybe works?
Sure. Could you give me access to share my screen?
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Great. And while you do that, hi, everybody. I'm Nidhi from Paybe. We're based in Menlo
Do a
Park,
request.
right by, oh,
Do a request. Oh, just 1 second. I can do this. Hold on a second. I'll do it my thing here.
sure.
Okay. You got it.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, it was going to stop sharing your screen.
Okay. Stop sharing mine. Hold on a second.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, very good. Let me share. So before I start sharing, hi everybody, I'm Nidhi from Paybe. Hi, we're based in California. We're about a mile away from the Stanford campus. And we've been building technology for charities, and happy to tell you a little bit about ourselves as well as hybrid. And like Norm was saying, please do attend our demo. You'll get a real experience, right? So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how hybrid works. He's told me a little bit about your event, and feel free to ask questions. I'll just run by my slides very quickly so you get a rough idea, right? So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay. Are you all able to see my screen, the yellow slide?
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. So again, we're Paybe, and we're a platform to host all kinds of events, right? Whether it's in-person events, virtual events, or hybrid. We understand things keep changing, and we will support no matter what your event format is. Right? These are a few of our clients who we've worked with. Again, we build technology purely for nonprofits. And then we were the first to market with a virtual solution, real virtual solution where it's actually actionable, not a multi-screen solution, one solution where people just log on and it all works for them. And we will mostly be first to market with an actual working hybrid solution as well. Yeah. And at this point, we've supported over 500 virtual galas just in the last 1 year alone. On the left, a few of our clients, I picked some of the Texas logos, which you might find familiar, but we have clients all over the country. Okay. And then today specifically, I'm going to focus on hybrid events for all of you, just to get an overview. So hybrid event basically means combining two event formats. One is the brick and mortar event where people are attending in person. You could have the auctioneer in the room, you could have the entertainer in the room, or not, right? Somebody could be running entertainment from a remote location as well. And then the virtual scenario where people are joining in from their own homes. Either they're at-risk people who cannot attend in person, or just that they couldn't find a sitter for the day, or whatever the situation, or somebody joining in from the other part of the country, right? Everybody can join in and participate at the same time. Right? So what it means of putting it into action is that, again, each audience group member should feel like the event is catered to them. It should not feel like, hey, I'm just watching a telecast and it's just going on. I'm in an offline audience. It should never feel that way. It should feel like it's designed for you, right? Even if I'm watching from home. And again, the goal for you as an organization to make sure not a single bid pledge gets missed, because again, if you miss it, you don't even know you had it. So our goal is to make sure nothing gets missed out, right, in terms of your fundraising and your donations. So in terms of our platform features, just to give you a quick overview, it's a full end-to-end experience. We support everything that you need at your event, starting from invitations, RSVPs for both formats, virtual as well as brick and mortar events. We handle guest check-in on-site as well as online. The pledge drive, silent auction, fund in need, fundraising games like the Last Hero, raffles, whatever you want, you can support. We have real-time reports at any time. Any of you can go in and see how your event is doing, how the breakdown across all your activities. Easy checkout. This is super important, right? We want to make sure checkout is super simple for either your ground staff, your volunteers, who we will train. So if all of you are going to be volunteers on the day of your event, we will train you, right? And we'll send you the swipe devices if you need. We also support self-checkout. So if donors who want to do a self-checkout, we support that as well. And post-event follow-up, super important, right? There will be some donors who have not closed their pledges on the day off. We give you very easy to use tools to track who hasn't, and then you just tap on a button and a reminder gets sent to them. And then they have a one-click way of checking out their cards. And again, when you come to our demo, you'll get to experience all of this for yourself as well, right? So we support everything that you need during your event. And then we have very easy to use backend tools as well. Yes, donor experience is insanely important. We also think it's very important for you all to be able to run your event. So we have a one-screen interface, and then that's how you control your entire event, hybrid, right? Virtual as well as in person. This is our donor experience, which you can experience, but everything is on one screen. All the chat activity, the bidding, the pledging, donors don't need to keep hopping to different places. And it works on all devices, whether it's a desktop, laptop, mobile phone, any device that the donor brings on. We do specialize in easy to use tools. We believe there should be no manuals. Nobody likes to read manuals and print things out and read. There should be no manuals. The interface itself should be intuitive. So it just makes sense when you start using it, right? We do specialize in a single click check-in. So hit a button and you're in. We do cater to people of all age groups. We want to make sure nobody gets left behind, right? It should be just as easy for any donor with technical experience, with no technical experience as well. And then this is the virtual format for people who are joining in virtually. And then for people who are joining in person, we have two format options, right? One is the traditional format where you can have paddles that people are raising at your event. Our system generates the paddles and people will be raising paddles. And then we also have a digital format if you want to use that. Again, it's an option and you can choose either format. So with the digital format, your donors who are joining in person will just open up one screen, and then the content on the screen will keep changing on whether you're running the pledge drive or you're running the auction. Right? Again, very simple for you to set up, and we will train you on all of this, right? And again, it is designed for regions with low data. So if the connectivity is not great or the Wi-Fi is kind of weak, it will still work there. And it's designed. There is no video loading, very low bandwidth data that's going to donor that.
That's a good thing.
Good. Yes. No, we realize that's pretty important. We've been running events at hotels where, it's in the basement or the connectivity is really low or the Wi-Fi plan is super expensive. So we've built solutions for our charities to do that. And then our system also automatically generates the big presentation format. So when your auctioneer or the host is like running your pledge drive or your auction campaign, it automatically creates the content for the big screen to go on your projector, right? And it's customizable, and you can make it however you want. You can display the pledge levels and donors' names, so you're giving them recognition on the big screen as well. And for all of you, we will also give you tools that you can interact with your guests. You have the chat tools so that you can continue interacting with your virtual guests. And then live reports, obviously, so that you can track your progress and you'll see all the pretty graphs and everything as well as you can drill down and see specifics. So again, we're a full hybrid solution. We have the solution for auctioneers. We have the solution for your staff to run the event, as well as for your donors to join in virtually or in person. And it all goes hand in hand, and everything works in sync in real time. And again, one part that's really important to us is our customer success team. Like, we believe that, charities come in, sometimes they may or may not have the technical experience, sometimes they may or may not have the time bandwidth, right? It's all volunteer run and everybody doesn't have infinite time, and we want to help you out as much as we can, right? So we keep telling ourselves that we are an extension of your team. Feel free to use us. And then we bring in our experience, and we really care about your success. Like, during your event, we're all cheering when you pass your goals, right? And we're all celebrating over here. We do the onboarding with you. So we'll get on a similar video call and then show you where everything is. We'll set up your account exactly to match your event, and we'll teach you what you need to know. Hey, this is how you set up invitations. This is how you track responses. This is how you spread the word on social media. This is how you add a silent auction item. So we'll walk you through those. And then we continue providing tech support all the way up until your event. We also run dry runs with you. So we'll help you train your producer. If it's somebody in a network, which I'm going to talk about, or not, we'll help train your producer as well as your auctioneer. We'll participate in your dry run. So we are live and we are present, making sure things are running smooth on your dry run day as well. And then on the day of your event, we are present during the entire event, right? So you'll have a number to call, you know exactly who the person is. So in case you have any questions, we're there on standby. You won't need us because by then you're going to be pros in running hybrid events. But in case you need us, we're there, right? During the entire duration of your event. And then we also have a partner network. So obviously you can bring in your own auctioneer, your producer if you wanted, or if you wanted, we also have our own network and you can reach out to our auctioneers. There are a whole bunch in Texas, in Austin specifically as well. So if you wanted, you could reach out to them, talk to them, and then they can help you out as well. And they're very proficient with running hybrid events with the payee system. So the ramp up curve is really low for you as well as them.
That's good.
And then, yeah, I mean, I can keep talking about our product all day, but I would recommend you come and try it yourself. That's how you get the real experience. We do run a demo twice a week with a real auctioneer. So you'll get to come and hit the buttons and everything just like you're a real donor, right? And we'll give you a test credit card. So you can do the checkout as well. You don't have to spend your own money. So we'll give you a test credit card. And yeah, that brings me to the end of my mini presentation, which I designed for you. Any questions that I can answer?
What we're going to do is you're getting a once over on a number of subjects here, but you can stop sharing, and we'll get back to this. But what this is a once over. The people is actually think about that my global chart of people are going to have to do this, this, and this. This is going to be a niche into itself, the hybrid and silent auction. The idea is the silent auction should go on. It starts on like a Monday, and this is actually patterned after other events, including the Audubon Society. You start on a Monday, and it's purely virtual. One of the nice things about this is you never take physical possession of nothing, because one of our things to approach bidders with, would you love to know things, experiences, whatever it is. So there's a deal where, okay, I'm going to donate something because I have a business, another story, but so I'm donating a Freppenstadt. And then the winning bidder gets to spend $2,000 in the Freppenstadt, and then the bidder and the donor hook up and do the thing. But it actually simplifies life. So the idea is the silent auction goes on for like 6 days. Let's say it ends at 2 o'clock on Saturday. We control the venue, so we don't want to compete with barbecue stuff going on, like the charging and all that stuff. We're going to pick a prime time slot for a hybrid auction, which is going to be exactly an hour. That's all it is. And what you want to do is you have like 15 events. Nichi, correct me if I'm wrong. You want to have a small number of good events and spend like 2 minutes. Items. Mm-hmm. And they could be, what we want to do is tailor it to somewhat to businesses where it's unique you know, most people have all the crap they need, but things you can't buy off of Walmart and Amazon is a Target thing. So like if you have some sort of unique service that would be valuable and might retail for a couple of $1,000s, they get some publicity out of the thing. And so life is good. So anyhow, that's kind of the deal. Let me get back to here. So anyhow, one of the things too is when you use Paybe, it seems very promising. Lasts a couple days, and it starts on December 4th or September 4th, and the bidders can be in person. So we're gonna need some runners to walk around paddles. But if you see like Meacham Auto Auctions, most of the bidders are not in place there. They're in Saudi Arabia or wherever it is. So again, it's another element. But our main task is get donations. And we have a draft solicitation letter, which we can get bids on. And the important thing for a solicitation, you have to put why it's in the interest of the donor to donate. In the case of business, it's an easy hit. And it's very important you do the why. As a Rotary people saying, the why is the reason. The what you do is not such a big deal, it's the why. Why are you donating and why should you donate to this thing? And the why is because cause X, Y, or Z is going to use it to cure cancer or whatever it is. So we're going to focus on quality items, and it's basic, it's an opportunity for businesses to both donate and bid. We're gonna work with getting a nice MC, like one of Montgomery's in my task is to try and get Matthew McConaughey or something like that. I mean, that's, you know, again, we're dealing with David Schwab and he has funny connections. But it's entirely likely we'll get someone now to be involved in this thing. So anyhow, that's gonna deal with that. Supportive event, we're gonna need support by the people here. We're also gonna need support by external people because there's only 30 of us. I'm thinking with the passage of time, eventually we'll end with more members out of this deal, because right now there's only 30 of us. So there's lots of stuff to do. We'll need volunteers. We're gonna solicit support from other clubs. So anyhow, does anyone have any questions on this stuff? Let me shift gears only slightly to another subject, and that is scholarships, Rotary scholarships. Rick is in charge of scholarships, and the club has, I'm a huge fan of RILA and of scholarships. So Rick, would you care to describe where you're at on the scholarships?
We met, Mike and Susan and myself met at Susan's house. We went through Smithville's application, Bastrop, and Cedar Creek, and we have 3 people we chose, and I'll be sending that information to the school. And that's the end of the scholarship program this year.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're taking care of that. Thank you. Now, there's another district has another category of scholarships, which is specifically focused on a niche, which is people taking what I call skilled trades or vocational training. So there's another scholarship, and there's going to be like, I don't think it was like 8 of those for $5,000 a piece. So a suggestion I have is Alex, who's been assisting Rick, and would you care to give it a few words who you are and what you're doing? Take off your mask a moment.
I'm Alex. I've been assisting Norman and Rick with various community service projects. Right now, I'm working with him to construct a hydroponics system over at the In the Streets Hands Up High Ministry, somewhere downtown. And I think that's it.
Well, yeah, but what are you doing? What's your career stuff?
Oh, I'm also currently studying welding technology at Texas State Technical College, aiming for an associate's degree, and after that, probably going to go into the electrician's trade as well.
The skilled trades is kind of the sweet spot. There's lots of people graduating college with nothing to show for it, but student debt.
And he's applying for.
And he's applying, so you're going to apply. So you have to do this. He's going to have to get endorsements from teachers at high school. He had a very good GPA at Bastrop High, and now he's going to Texas State Technical College. It's a great place. So he gets endorsements. So we'll throw the hat into the ring and see what happens. Reminder, next week, do not show up here. Show up at, I'll be a reminder, of course, show up at Spiderwood Studios 969. Trust me, in a cool thing. Montgomery United did a tour. the back lot is, I don't know, it's like 100 acres, something like that, they think. It's cool. And the studios are amazing. They're gigantic places and professional stuff, which people like Montgomery understand, but I only have a general idea of. Is there any other, we're gonna have a board meeting right after this. Is there any other business questions or whatever? Yes.
So our auction day is happening during the barbecue,
Yes.
correct? And then July 4th, is that our supposed,
Well, no, to clarify, the main event is Labor Day weekend.
right?
But to your point is, now that should be, the silent auction is like, ends on that Saturday, September 4th, I think it is. So that ends at 2 o'clock or some such thing. We'll coordinate with the barbecue aspects. We don't conflict with the barbecue aspect. We like to have the stage, and we like to have one thing lead to another, because we want the audience not to wander off. There's some sort of ceremony. The grand prize of the brisket is Donkey Squat. And so we're gonna be some sort of ceremony with that, people clapping and all that good stuff, and TV crews, publicity, all that. Good stuff.
Hopefully.
Well, publicity is part of the deal. So we're gonna have that event occurring at 2 o'clock or whatever it is, and we're gonna have this thing right before or right after something. We want to be in proximity so people don't wander off. So the silent auction is like 6 days, starting on Monday, ending on Saturday, so it ends at 2 o'clock. And the live auction, hybrid auction, starts, it's exactly 1 hour from 2 to 3, or thereabouts. But to your point is, we do have the option of staffing up. That would be a few of us sitting at a table with a canopy, saying, we're a couple of Bastrop and does good stuff. So we can do that. It's an opportunity to do some awareness. And oh, by the way, Publicity events and Rotary Club does good stuff. Now the option is for a booth, because we could set up a portable hydroponics facility.
Wasn't there something for July 4th though?
Right, July 4th, Patriotic Festival.
Patriotic Festival.
Yeah, that's where we set up what I call an information booth.
So that's not our date for our supposed movie shoot, whoever wins the
Oh,
auction.
no. Okay, here, but the movie shoot, whoever wins the auction, that's whenever the winner is. What they do is you get the whole studio for like 6 hours, and they get to use a professional videographer the same 6 hours. That's a whenever.
Okay.
That's a whenever,
Whenever they decide.
whenever they want. Any other questions? Any last words from anyone? Okay, with that, let's do the four-way test. First, is it true? Second, is it third?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth?
Will it be beneficial
to all concerned?
Okay, well, thank you. For those who want to participate in the board meeting, hang around.
Sorry about that, Mr. Alex.
Fine.
I have to get some cash.
It's all right.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, good to meet you all. Bye.
Whenever you can, Norman, I have the hard copy of my essay if you want to
I need a whole
review it.
application.
Oh, I can't print it out. It's a Google form.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me stop recording.
Hey, sorry, the weekend's
That's all right.
over. I had kayaking on Saturday.
We'll figure it out.
That's what's like, how do I get, I have to stop this.
You guys have a nice day.
Stop sharing,
Bye-bye.
stop.
We'll see you soon. I'll
Okay,
hit you
guys,
shop,
you can
Norman.
share. Yeah, thank you. I want to stop recording.
I was recording, you know, I have to get it word.
Stop recording. Recording.
Stop video.
Oh, I hit the, if I had to guess, I said a cloud on the green bar.
Oh, stop recording. Here we go. Zoom stuff is,